Hi there, this is Matt with State of Flux here with the Oscar wrap-up for 2023. I went 17 for 23 on the awards this season, which isn't bad, but also isn't great. I was hoping I would do a little better, and there were a couple surprises that took my points down. However, by those same tokens, there were some things that I had guessed as surprises that did in fact win, so I think I would have gotten the same score even if I'd gone with the smart choices versus like my gamble choices. But regardless, speaking to the show itself, it was pretty cool that they actually were able to completely finish the thing by the time they said they would. I think that's the first time I've ever experienced that Oscar season, and or for Oscar night, and that was pretty cool. The entertainment value for the show itself was fine. Jimmy Kimmeled, and like I was on board with. He's grown on me like a fungus. But he had some stuff that genuinely made me laugh, and there were some like host pairings that really worked for me, and there were some that really didn't. And what was with the Best Picture one? Like, Al Pacino has no sense of, like, a build. For a person who's really gifted as an actor, he has no sense of suspense or drama, it seemed. But that is to say, it was largely a good show. I was annoyed during the In Memoriam section, not because they, like, didn't do it well. It was the camera was pulled way the hell out so that we could see all three different screens, but then you had to squint, and I have a sizable TV, and even still I'm just like looking with my old man eyes at the screen trying to figure out what the hell the person's job was and stuff for some of the more like non in front of the camera people who had passed. Overall, I liked it. It was a good show. However, I was preparing myself to have a not great time because a lot of my favorite movies which were nominated clearly weren't going to win. And I had to come to terms with that, and I was largely correct throughout the night with that. So let's pour one out for Past Lives and go through my thoughts on each of the winners. This, from here on forth, is who won in each category, and I might provide a little commentary as the night, or as we go through. Let's start with Best Picture. Went to Oppenheimer. No surprises there. I was hoping for a surprise. Maybe it's the Joker in me. I just want to watch the world burn, but it would have tickled me if, say, American Fiction had won. Stay tuned to the end of this video for my review of American Fiction, as promised yesterday. But Oppenheimer did in fact take the gold, and you know, I liked Emma Thomas's speech. Let's see here. For Best Actor in a Leading Role, we had Cillian Murphy, and he is a gifted actor. He's put in 20 plus years of fantastic work, so it was nice to see him get honored for that. Best Supporting Actor, Robert Downey Jr. I was very excited about that. I may not have thought it was the best performance of the year in the supporting category, but he has put in countless phenomenal performances across the board in good movies, in bad movies, in mid movies. He is always the highlight of every single one of them. And so I was very happy to see this well-deserved win for a very good performance in a movie that is a Best Picture winner. Best Actress in a Leading Role, we have Emma Stone. This one was the biggest shock for me and the biggest disappointment. Not that I didn't think she could win. I said in my video posted yesterday that there's a good chance she would win. I like the whole night, it felt like the momentum was going towards Lily Gladstone. They saved her win to be right before the Best Picture win, even going so far as to push the Best Director up, because I think they wanted to prepare for this moment that we could all get around, because the Oscars were about to do something very self-congratulatory and important by having the first Indigenous person win. And just like happened with the 2020 Oscar set and the Chadwick Boseman of it all, it kind of blew up, and Emma Stone won. She's an amazing actress, and I was just disappointed that she won because of the nominees, she's the only one that had. So I wanted to see it go to somebody new, and I really did love Lily Gladstone's performance. That being said, I think Emma Stone's acceptance speech may have been one of the best of the night, so you had that going for it. Best Supporting Actress, Divine Joy Randolph for The Holdovers. That was fantastic. Best Animated Feature, The Boy and the Heron. I was right. I knew that would win, and I was correct. Best Cinematography went to Oppenheimer. Best Costume Design. I thought Barbie would pull a little more love, but the Academy really just did not embrace that movie in any meaningful way whatsoever, which was really disappointing. But Poor Things did have nice costumes. Best Direction went to Christopher Nolan, whose speech didn't blow me away as it had with the Golden Globes. I thought both his and Downey's speeches were much better at the Golden Globes than for the actual Oscar night, but way to go, Chris. You deserved it 20 plus years ago for Memento, or The Dark Knight, or Inception. So you finally earned it for the best movie you made since Inception. So congrats, Mr. Nolan. Best Documentary Feature, 20 Days in Mariupol. It had to win. Best Documentary Short Film, The Last Repair Shop. That one surprised me a little bit. It had like the Disney money behind it, which is why I think it pulled the victory from the ABC's of book banning. However, it's also a great one, and that was the in my internal self, having watched all the docu-shorts, the two that stood out to me as the absolute best were book banning and Repair Shop, and I couldn't decide. I'm a literary guy. I listed that way rather than music. But damn, that last Repair Shop is a good movie. So it is an earned victory. Film editing, Oppenheimer. International film, Zone of Interest. Makeup and hairstyling went to Poor Things. I really think Maestro should have got it. I genuinely so. Poor Things did great work for Willem Dafoe, but like the rest of it didn't really do much for me. But that's just me, and I guess I'm not a a beautician, so I don't know necessarily what to look for in the qualities there. But congrats to that team. Original score went to Oppenheimer. That one kind of bugged me a little bit. I absolutely adored the Killers of the Flower Moon score. I knew that the Oppenheimer Ludwig Göransson score was going to win. However, my problem with that score is it isn't really a score. There's no like themes that kind of reemerge in any meaningful way. It just is tones, a series of them, and like those tones are sweeping and moving when they ought to be. But to me, it just was sound rather than a score, an experience, a movement for a film. So that's why I was really pulling for Killers of the Flower Moon, but I think everybody knew, and yesterday I predicted Oppenheimer would win that. Best Original Song, What Was I Made For? I loved Billie Eilish's speech. It was damn adorable, and I just genuinely love her. It's a phenomenal song, and way to go, Barbie, you got an Oscar. Production design went to Poor Things. Again, I thought it was going to... I said it could go that way, but I thought it was going to go Barbie, and there just wasn't that embrace there. But Poor Things pulled it off, and it is a good-looking production. Animated short film, War is Over. Live action short film, The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. Yeah, way to go, Wes. I wasn't a fan of that movie by any stretch of the imagination, but a lot of people love Wes Anderson, and now he's rocking some Oscar gold, so way to go. Sound, Zone of Interest. I was so happy this one. A lot of people thought that Oppenheimer, Big Bang Go Boom was going to win, but the soundscape in Zone of Interest is what makes that film work and relevant. And so I had faith that the sound community would vote for Zone of Interest, and they did. So that was one of my biggest hoorays of the night. But my favorite award of the night went to Godzilla -1. My favorite movie of the year, and it had one Oscar nomination, and it won it. That's what mattered to me. I wanted to see that respect get put towards that film. If nothing else, it has that, and that moves me. So yeah, unfortunately, my daughter needed to go to bed, and that was when I put her to bed, so I missed the actual award, but everybody tells me it was a very moving speech, one of the best ones, and the most honest ones of the night. So I will be Googling that at some point. I tried right before this, but nobody had uploaded it in any of the things that I'd found, or they had, but they'd been pulled down already. So I will try and watch that and maybe link it in the bottom so that you can watch it in case you missed it. Then we had the writing awards, which of all the little skits ahead of the little segments, the one that happened in front of the writing between two very talented people was head-scratching, to say the least. It wasn't funny, it was awkward, and pulled us to a dead stop for like 2 minutes. But needless to say, American Fiction pulled a victory. And I will say, deservedly so. It is a phenomenal screenplay. And pretty soon we'll talk about that movie. But the last award was for original screenplay, and it went to Anatomy of a Fall. Again, very well deserved. So they spread the love as they have in a lot of the past years. You didn't have anything just kind of sweep through and take everything, though Oppenheimer did take the 4 big awards that it was capable of sort of achieving in picture, director, actor, supporting. But you saw like a spread go everywhere. Barbie got a little something. American Fiction got a little something. Poor Things got a little something, and all the Best Picture nominees kind of got something, except for Past Lives, Killers of Flower Moon, and The Holdovers, which Holdovers won something too. My apologies. But yeah, I was in for a rough night from the start from what I wanted to win, but I'd already come to accept by this morning that I wasn't going to have a great time for my Oscar hopefuls. But I was satisfied with the speeches that were given by and large, and who ended up taking that trophy. Some of them are career earned, and I was happy to see. Moving on to my review for American Fiction. American Fiction is a spectacular movie. I absolutely loved this movie. It was my second favorite of the Oscar-nominated Best Picture nominees, and very happy to see it take home a prize. I was still kind of rooting for Barbie because I do love that screenplay. It just wasn't in the wrong spot. So, of course it wasn't going to win an adapted screenplay because the adaptation isn't there. However, American Fiction is a good adaptation brought to screen. But what I loved about that was that you had a comedy that was laugh-out-loud funny, both high and low-brow comedy, while intermingling it and juxtaposing it with this rich, sweeping, but realistic and grounded drama that never gets saccharine, rooted in character, exceptional character work, and elevated by powerhouse performances. Sterling K. Brown and Jeffrey Wright pull the weight of this movie into a stratosphere that I didn't think it could have been capable of without them in it. And they are so good, to the point where I'm genuinely disappointed those two didn't take the Oscar home. But The movie itself is great. It had me laughing out loud throughout the whole thing. The whole, like, changing the name of the book from Pathology, My Pathology, to Fuck is great. But the best moment in the entirety of the feature film, comedy-wise, comes from when the group is trying to decide what book should be awarded, and they're like, I really think it needs to be Fuck, and the two African American people on the board are like, no, I think it's a regressive text, it's not good, it's perpetuating, yada yada. And the other three are like, well, 3-2, we've overruled you, Fuck wins. And they both are just like, ugh. And the one woman stands up and is like, I really think it's important that we listen to and recognize black voices right now. And I was dying because they're not listening to the two black voices in the room, trying to cater to a wider audience for perspective purposes. I don't know, but I was cackling at that. But this comedy works because of the juxtaposition with this drama, and seeing that the experience that this character has as a black man in America is absolutely not that which he wrote as sort of a satirical text. And it works because of that. And I've seen some criticisms for the film that this movie's great, except for the dramatic family story just pulls away from the great comedy. I disagree. It amplifies the comedy. It contextualizes why that's funny. And this movie is a genuinely phenomenal powerhouse movie that I will absolutely be purchasing on physical media and consuming several times over. It's good. And I think this is something that will probably be shown in classes and stuff like that, with how to write genre that is multifaceted. It's a genuinely great movie. So, if you have not seen American Fiction, check it out. It is an Oscar winner and a deserved one for screenplay. Quentin Tarantino, and I've cited this, I think most of my Oscar videos, has always said, or once said that whatever wins Best Screenplay probably should win Best Picture. And granted, he's an unreliable narrator in that sense because he's won Best Screenplay several times over and never won Best Picture. But I also don't think he's wrong. I think he's absolutely right. And as much as my heart holds up the quality that is Past Lives that largely went unrecognized by the Academy, shy of the nod for a nomination. The two best films besides Past Lives are American Fiction and Anatomy of a Fall. They should have taken Best Picture. The film that did take Best Picture, I don't think it's a particularly good adaptation of a book that is straightforward. It's a great technical achievement, but that's what we're awarding it. And I don't know if we should award something that is technically great, but has a screenplay that kind of, I'm going to be real, flops around. You can hear my thoughts on that text in previous videos. But for my money, American Fiction, if not Past Lives, American Fiction or Anatomy of a Fall should have won Best Picture. But what did you guys think of the Oscars? What was your favorite moment, your favorite win, your least favorite win? What made you absolutely cringe? I really did like the sick burn that Kimmel hit at Trump. Was that a real, did he really say that over Truth Media? And if so, that was a fabulous clapback. Anyway, let me know what you thought, as well as let me know what you thought of American Fiction. Phenomenal movie. Check it out. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and peace.